The mother had only killed a hen for the soup, yet she discovered that the one who died was actually her daughter. Strangely, the surveillance footage clearly showed her personally killing her daughter. Ultimately, she was arrested by the police. The judge convicted her of murder and sentenced her to death. Unexpectedly, she was reborn back to the day her daughter was murdered. Looking at the hen her best friend had brought, she realized that it was this chicken that had killed her daughter. To change her daughter's tragic fate, she told her best friend to take the chicken back. At this point, her husband said that her daughters had hurt her leg in a car accident. As a mother, she should make chicken soup for her daughter to replenish her nutrients. Her daughter was also demanding chicken soup. Before the woman even had time to react, her friend had already pushed her into the kitchen. Thinking back to her last life when the ward monitor clearly captured her killing her daughter, but she had only killed a hen. She couldn't understand how it turned into killing her daughter. To prevent the tragedy from repeating, this time, she didn't cut off the chicken's head. Instead, she lightly made a cut on the chicken's leg. Suddenly, she heard her daughter let out a scream. The woman immediately ran over to check. Seeing there was no wound on her daughter's leg, she asked her daughter why she had screamed. The daughter explained she had accidentally bumped her left leg. Hearing this response, the woman thought she might have overreacted. Her friend urged her to continue butchering the chicken to make soup. Unexpectedly, her husband ran in from the kitchen to tell her the hen was missing. The woman thinks that if the hen runs away, her daughter won't die. But when she looked back again, she found her daughter had vanished into thin air. She searched the entire hospital but couldn't find any sign of her daughter. Considering her daughter's injured leg couldn't have carried her far, she suspected there was something wrong with the chicken her friend had brought. Before her friend could speak to explain, her husband walked over and said the chicken had been found. When the woman looked upstairs again, she saw her daughter was safely in the ward. Her daughter said she had never left the room. The woman was convinced this was impossible, because she had just seen her daughter disappear. Remembering that in her previous life it was because of that chicken that she became a murderess, she used her reluctance to kill living creatures as an excuse to get her husband to kill the chicken for her. Hearing her husband readily agree, she reminded him to slaughter the chicken's feet first. However, her husband killed the entire chicken, and her daughter remained unharmed. She was sure the chicken had nothing to do with her daughter. She thought that this time, her daughter wouldn't die. 10 minutes later, the man carried the butchered chicken and told the woman to make chicken soup. He went to fetch their daughter's CT scan report. The woman, living life again, could not afford any mistakes. She locked the ward door from the inside. As long as no one entered, her daughter wouldn't die. Then she went to the kitchen and stewed the hen her friend had brought. Seeing no one else at her daughter's bedside, she momentarily breathed a sigh of relief. But when she finished the soup and was ready to wake her sleeping daughter, she discovered her daughter had died again. At that moment, her husband and friend hurried in from outside. Seeing their daughter's tragic death, her husband slapped her. He was certain his wife was responsible for their daughter's death. The husband and the friend, just like in her last life, were convinced she was the murderer. This made her suspect that their daughter's death was connected to them. Then her husband pulled up the ward surveillance footage again. It clearly showed she holding a knife and killing her daughter.